So in this video, I just wanted to show you a couple of other examples of some conversions, but this time we're going to be using squared units and cubed units, and also looking at how we convert between length, dimensions, and volume when we go to cubic units. It'll make more sense after you see the examples. So for this problem, it's the area of this sheet of paper that I'm writing on is 603 square centimeters. What is the area of the paper in meters? So we're using the same type of approach. The only difference is we've got these squared units, and we do have to take that into consideration when we're doing our conversion. It's easy to think, okay, there's 100 centimeters in a meter, so I just move my decimal 2 places. But because of these squared units, we can't do it that way, and that's where this, we call it dimensional analysis, comes in handy. So we start with the same idea of 603 square centimeters. We're always going to begin with what we know. And then we're going to multiply that by a conversion factor here. So I know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. But that doesn't cause my units to cancel if I'm just using centimeters, since this is a squared unit. So it's really simple to do. All you do is square the bottom, and then you're going to square the top and do your calculation accordingly. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to divide 603 by 100 twice instead of just once, since it's squared. So you could probably do this in your head, but 603 divided by 100 divided by 100. Your calculator is going to give you an answer of 0.0603. And now, again, centimeters squared have canceled. Our unit is square meters. If you like scientific notation better, for this number it's not that big of a deal, but you could also report that as 6.03 times 10, moving your decimal 2 places, so it'd be to the -2 square meters. So just wanted to show you one of those, because there is one of those on a problem like this on your practice problems. Now, another thing that you're going to run into is something like this, where I've got a unit here in meters. I can talk about volume, of course, in cubic meters, length times width times height. But there is a way to relate those linear units of meters and centimeters to our unit of liters. And that is this conversion. A cubic centimeter is equal to a milliliter. And so that would give you enough to get where you need to go with this. But this problem turns out to be a little bit longer. So we've got a cube that is 1.25 meters on each side. What is the volume of the cube in liters? So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out the volume of the cube in cubic meters. So I chose a cube because the math is a little bit easier. So I've got 1.25 meters times 1.25 meters times 1.25 meters. Length times width times height, that's going to give me a volume. And I get 1.95, and I'm going to round that to 3 digits, and we'll talk about that when we talk about significant figures a little bit later. But 1.95 cubic meters. So that's the volume of the cube, but that's not the unit that I want. I want it in liters. So I can relate these two measurements because they're both in some form of meters, and then I can use this to get to liters. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with what I know, which is 1.95 cubic meters. And I'm going to think about, again, this conversion. This is centimeters, and I know that there are 100 centimeters in each meter. But since these are cubic units, I need to cube these conversions as well. So now cubic meters will cancel out with cubic meters, and I've got a volume there in cubic centimeters. If you want to, you can stop right here and do that calculation. I'm going to just keep going because you can do this all in one step and set up your math and then just calculate at the end. So the other thing I know from my problem is that 1 cubic centimeter is equal to a milliliter. So I want cubic centimeters to cancel. It's on top here. I'm going to put that part of the conversion on the bottom, and I'm going to put my 1 milliliter on the top. So now cubic centimeters have canceled, cubic centimeters. Keep in mind, we're still going to cube this number. To get to liters, it's just a metric conversion. I know that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So now milliliters cancels out, and I've got a final answer here that I want in liters. So then it's just a matter of doing the math. Let's see if you can see this. Get my calculator out here. And 1.95 times 100 cubed. So don't forget to cube that. Then those are both ones. Then I have to divide here by 1,000 since that's on the bottom. So remember, we're multiplying anything that's on the top. We're dividing anything that's on the bottom. You can see that a little bit better. And so when I hit enter there, that's 1,950 liters. And that's my final answer. And so again, just wanted to show you how to work with things that have square or cubic units in it, and also how to relate cubic centimeters, cubic linear units with volumes that are in liters or milliliters. So I hope that was helpful, and you should be ready to move on to your practice problems now. I'll see you next time.